Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on all social media platforms. Consider becoming a member. Leave that donation for you know what. Hey man, Jaron Ennis and Caroline Dubois. I'm a proud boxing fan because it's like going into the room after your wife gives birth and you see, boy, them kids are mine. They passed the eye test. And that's how I feel when I watch Jaron and I watch Caroline. As a boxing fan, and I walk in, I watch, and I see them get in the ring and perform. I'm like, oh yeah, they passed the eye test. Jaron gets busy. Caroline Dubois gets busy. Like, I'm not playing. Those two, a lot of talk about them being the two future faces of boxing. And that is not exaggeration. When people are having those discussions, it's well-deserved because Ennis and Dubois look absolutely amazing. However, I still think they both need that one fight to just shut everybody up. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that they haven't been doing great. I mean, Jaron was unified champion at 147, trying to fight Vergil Ortiz. De La Hoya is blocking that. Caroline Dubois is currently a unified champion at 135 pounds. So there's definitely something to both of these fighters. You know what I'm saying? But just trying to understand the big picture. Dubois and Ennis are being sold as the future face of boxing, pound for pound royalty, the next era. Especially if you listen to Eddie Hearn talk about Jaron Ennis. He's a great promoter, and Eddie Hearn's a talker. That's why they call him Fast Eddie, because his mouth is like an Uzi. You know, Eddie Hearn hitting you with some hollow points when he starts talking. But one thing about Ennis and Caroline Dubois, they both look spectacular when they get in the ring. They have passed the eye test, and every test put in front of them, they become champions. They dominate opponents, and they both get highlight reel, put on highlight reel performances and can get highlight reel knockouts. But fans keep asking the same question. It's like, all right, who has Jaron really beat? Who has Caroline Dubois really beat? Now, I'm going to say this. Once you beat champions, man, you know, you got to give fighters credit. But I understand. There are certain names where people want to see these fighters in with. And when I think about it like that, I understand a bit of the criticism, but it's just more of they have an expectation for them. And it's like, yo, you got to crawl before you walk, and you got to walk before you run. They just expect these fighters to just, in every fight, be in an all-out sprint. That's just not how it works. You know, the politics of boxing and everything. Trust me, I believe if Caroline Dubois had the opportunity to fight all the big names, I believe she would. If Jaron Ennis could, I believe he would. But it's just not that simple, okay? And that's why Ennis and Caroline Dubois, they're both in the same position right now. Now, we talk about Jaron Ennis. There's a lot of things that make him special. Some people say he's got some Roy Jones Jr. qualities, Terrence Crawford type qualities. You know what I mean? Like, that's the comparisons that they make. If you take Terrence Crawford and you take Roy Jones Jr., you get Jaron Ennis. And talk about a compliment out of this world. He got speed and power. He can switch hit. He's athletic. He's got killer instinct. And he's comfortable in chaos. You know, he became the unified champion at 154. He wants more at 147. He wants more at 154. And he's becoming groomed as the face of boxing and the next pound for pound king. The problem is his resume. He's got some solid names, but no generational win yet. But he's trying. No elite rivalry and no career-defining opponent. Trying to get Spence, trying to get Crawford, but, you know, ship sailed on those fights, so he just wasn't able to get them. And there's a whole lot more behind all that, but I ain't getting into that in this video. The bottom line, he didn't get those fights. So the narrative is Jaron Ennis looks elite. He looks like that guy, but hasn't proven elite. You know what I'm saying? Even though you can look and see he's coming. There is something there. You can look and see it. But he's not proven elite yet. Now, the real test for Ennis is the fight we're all hoping gets made. And that's Vergil Ortiz. You know why? Because Vergil Ortiz is elite. Vergil Ortiz is proven. He's a pressure fighter, heavy hands. He's not going to fold. He's going to force exchanges. He's got IQ and he can box. But he is really bringing that pressure, looking to make you uncomfortable and break you down and knock you out. So the fight would answer a lot of questions for Jaron Ennis. Can he handle real fire? Can he stay disciplined under pressure? Can he win a war? You know what I'm saying? So until then, Ennis is just a superstar in theory, but still a superstar. Now for Caroline Dubois, all I'm going to say is this. Hey, hold your horses. Let's not take it to the stupid. Caroline Dubois gets busy. Just like Jaron Ennis. She just female version, man. Fast hands. Sharp combinations. Timing. Confidence. Looks comfortable in the spotlight. Fight in the pocket. Can fight at a distance. She can do everything, man. She can do everything. She's a natural talent. And she's Daniel Dubois' sister. He's another one of those talents. So you can just tell they've been groomed to be fighters. So I'm not surprised because I follow boxing. I know who her brother is and I knew who she was. And she was an outstanding amateur. You know what I mean? She had an expanded amateur background, a lot of amateur accomplishments, accolades. Caroline Dubois is the reason why she's in the position she's in right now. She's been at the top of the sport ever since an amateur. So there's no surprise why she's performing the way she is right now. But I tell you what, I think she's a champion at 135. And she is being positioned as a face of women's boxing. Like, it's coming, I'm telling you. You can just sit back and watch. You can see it's coming. Pound for pound queen. It's coming. You can just sit back and just see the movement, see the decisions being made. But ultimately, it looks like they want to make that fight with you-know-who. I'm going to talk about that in a second. But the problem for Caroline Dubois is just like Ennis. She dominates, but no huge name yet. No elite level adversity. And no legend on her record. So fans say, all right, she passes the eye test, but hasn't passed the real fight test yet. And I think the real test for Dubois is going to be Alycia Baumgardner. Now, Baumgardner already came out and said she ain't doing no lateral type moves. She's looking to fight big fights, big names. So she's not looking to fight someone like Caroline Dubois. And to be honest with you, some people are saying, oh, Baumgardner's putting duck sauce on the fried rice. No, she's not. She's doing the same thing Mayweather did. You got these young killers coming up. I've been around for a while. Why would I fight them? I'm looking to fight dream fights, make dream money, not go out here and necessarily put myself in the line of fire with some young, hungry killer. Not saying, now Baumgardner's not afraid of nothing. But she's like, yo, this shit is a business. I've been at this for a while. Let me fight big, get in some big fights for some big money. If Caroline Dubois were to bring $20 million for Baumgardner, she'd be on that shit. She would be on it. But I don't think Caroline Dubois brings that kind of money yet. But they can build towards some huge money. You know what I'm saying? And of course, no woman out there is making $20 million. But you understand what I'm saying. It's got to be worth it. And I just think Alycia Baumgardner fighting Caroline Dubois is worth it financially. It's worth it as far as the fans. Hell yeah, because we're like, oh, yeah, make that fight. 5-pound difference, Baumgardner can come up or maybe Dubois goes down. But the bottom line is fans are clamoring for that shit. But this is the thing. Dubois may not get it, at least anytime soon in the next couple of years. Because Baumgardner's a champion as well. She has power, experience. She got dog in her. She just fought 12 3-minute rounds. I mean, that's absolutely amazing. So she's a trendsetter. You know what I'm saying? Her, the Serranos. Yeah, her and the Serranos. They ain't out here to play any games. They're out here to work. You know what I mean? And definitely represent women's boxing in the right space. But if in fact Baumgardner and Caroline Dubois were to scrap, the fight would show if Dubois can handle pressure, physicality, power, if she can adapt mid-fight, and it will show just what level she's on, especially that conditioning. You got to have conditioning. One thing about Baumgardner, I'm not even talking about how she looks in shape. I'm talking about the fact she fought 12 3-minute rounds, and she ain't really slow down. So you got to put a lot of respect on Baumgardner's name. She's a machine. She's a big talent, and that's why a lot of people are feeling that for Caroline Dubois and how she looks. They're like, yo, that's the fight to make, her and Baumgardner. But until then, Dubois is going to look like a queen without a crown yet, okay? And that's just the reality of it. Now, why they're in the same position, Jaron Ennis and Caroline Dubois? Because both fighters look unbeatable. They're being marketed as future icons, and they haven't had a brutal war, a career risk fight, and defining rival. You know what I'm saying? You need that. In boxing, you need a rival, someone who can help elevate you. Have a first fight, have a rematch, have a trilogy. Some go on to have 4 fights, but you need someone where y'all can elevate each other. And maybe Vergil Ortiz and Jaron, that's the fight where they can elevate each other and have maybe a trilogy. Maybe Baumgardner and Dubois is the fight that can elevate both and have a trilogy. I mean, I don't know. But one thing we know about Jaron Ennis and we know about Caroline Dubois, they both are dominating. Untested, I would say that. Promoted heavily, I would say yes. Proven against the elite, I would say no. Doesn't mean they can't be, they just need the opportunity. So fans are going to keep saying that both of them are great, but great against who? And I get it. I get it. They just need the opportunities. And I'm not saying the people that are fighting are tomato cans. They are not tomato cans. They're fighting really good fighters. But sometimes, if they're not fighting who the fans want, fans aren't going to be happy, okay? But I'll just say this. As long as they keep fighting, they need to get there with the elite because there's a danger with every fight. I mean, anybody can lose. The best fighter doesn't win. It's the fighter who boxes the best on that night, okay? That doesn't mean that they're the best fighter, the better fighter, all right? But if they keep fighting what some people say like safe opponents, which I don't even think that's fair to say, and avoiding risky matchups, I'll tell you this, fans are going to start to turn skeptical. Like Jaron Ennis, this already happened. Fans looking at him like, when he fought that Alycia Lima, fans weren't trying to hear that shit at all. But for Caroline Dubois, she's not quite there yet. She has a lot of support, and a lot of people they're more or less just pushing for the Baumgardner fight. They're not really doubting her, but they still they want that big fight for her. They really want that. Just like they want that big fight for Ennis, but Ennis has received more flack than Caroline Dubois. Because that hype, if you don't give the fans what they want, that hype becomes fragile. You know what I'm saying? And any struggle is going to look worse. So if they take the real test and beat their toughest rivals, they'll become legit superstars. There'll be pound-for-pound arguments about them that become very real, and the hype turns into history. As far as what their next move should be, I'm going to tell you, for me, I think Ennis fighting Ortiz, man. Or if Oscar keeps blocking the fight, just fight a top 154-pound threat. Prove he's not just athletic, but he's elite at 154. And for Dubois, Jake Paul, they're going to do what they're doing over there and try to maintain Dubois as a champion, Baumgardner as a champion, and not have them scrap anytime soon. And I get it. You got to keep that money in-house, keep the titles in-house. I get it. But if Dubois can get that Baumgardner fight, that'd be outstanding. But if not, she's fighting Terry Harper, and that's a really good fight for her. And she just got to show in that fight she can win under fire. And after that, we'll see what's next. So these aren't just fights. I think these are identity fights for them, and they need to win. So with Ennis, let's hope he gets Ortiz, but I'm not optimistic. So whoever it is, let it be a top guy at 154. And for Dubois, we know she's fighting Terry Harper. But after that, let's see what happens. Anyway, y'all keep cool in the breeze.